St. Louis.
Well, I grew up in St. Louis. I lived in the north part of the county and in University City while I was going to school. My grandmother lived on Gannon Street. Petrovsky's Bagels was a big outing. We would walk down north and south, and visit that bakery. And I still think of them as the best bagels that I've ever tasted anywhere in the world. St. Louis is a place that has a lot of really tremendous assets. Forest Park, zoo, some really beautiful building stock. It's a city that has an inferiority complex in some ways. It seems to really undervalue those tremendous assets, and tries to compete with the suburbs, in ways that it can't compete. What it has that the rest of the region doesn't have, with the possible exception of St. Charles, is a pretty good urban fabric in a lot of places, a really interesting building stock, some beautiful civic spaces and public buildings, and it could be a fabulous city again if it really focused on those assets and trying to compete based on what it does best, and not worry about so much what's happening in West County.
Your work is in smart growth. How do you think we should convince the whole region to think about smart growth and focus on some efforts in the core?
Well, St. Louis has a relatively recent, in the scheme of things, it's not a 100-year-old subway system, but it has, some transit that's been very successful, and it really needs to have more. And I think that's a regional issue. Really looking at how St. Louis competes and how it does as a region vis-a-vis other regions, with gasoline prices expected to continue to increase. More and more of the development that's going further and further away from the center really puts a strain on those families and a strain on those businesses, and that should be something that's foremost in the minds of government officials and planners when they think about how to make the St. Louis region strong.
Great, thank you.